I ain't gonna lie, bro. Out of 10, first listen, I'm gonna have to go 6.5, bro.
Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into surprise and decline of Lil Baby, an artist once seen as unstoppable, now facing noticeable downturn. Just a short while ago, it felt like he was destined to run the rap game for years to come. Every track he dropped turned into a banger. Every feature, a guaranteed smash. For a time, he wasn't just dominating charts. He had the whole culture locked in. But now, that grip has loosened. The hype has cooled off. The streets are silent. And the industry is left asking one big question. What happened to Lil Baby's era? To understand it, we need to take it back to 2020. That's when he dropped the bigger picture in the middle of the George Floyd protests. It wasn't just another track. It was a powerful statement. Fans didn't just play it, they connected with it. People started asking if he was stepping into the role of this generation's voice. Then came My Turn, arguably his magnum opus and one of the most talked about rap albums of that year. With hits like Whoa, Grace, and Emotionally Scarred, he fused street grit with heartfelt emotion, and it set him apart from the pack. The internet even started floating comparisons to Drake. That's how high his stock was. But even the mightiest runs loose.
Favorite person to perform with together on stage?
I mean, Gunna, of course.
Yeah?
Definitely Gunna. Definitely Gunna.
Would you say Gunna's your closest friend in the industry?
Yeah. Definitely. I don't got no friends in the industry like that.
Steam. By 2022, the shift was hard to ignore. His heavily anticipated follow-up, It's Only Me, opened with massive 216,000 units in its first week. But the glow didn't last. The tracks didn't hit the same. There was no replay factor. One by one, the songs vanished from the Hot 100 like they were never there. And just like that, the quiet chatter started to grow louder. Had Lil Baby already peaked? Following My Turn, he carried that wave straight into It's Only Me. And on the surface, everything checked out. Those first week numbers proved he still had real star power. But once the buzz faded, both fans and critics began to notice the cracks. The sound felt recycled, like he was stuck repeating the same formula. Instead of evolving with the culture, he seemed frozen in place. And people were beginning to tune out. At first, the skepticism was low-key, tucked away in Reddit comments and random Twitter threads. But then the quiet murmurs turned into a full-blown spotlight. That's where DJ Akademiks comes in. While most outlets tread carefully around A-list rappers, Akademiks thrives on controversy.
The internet says you can't make hits without Gunna. So do you think y'all ever make music again?
The internet will say anything. How many hits I got?
Absolutely.
And so that don't even make sense. You know?
How much do you pay attention to the internet?
Man, like, I only see what I gotta see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He's raw, unfiltered, and built for drama, and he locked in on Lil Baby with full force. From viral rants to chaotic late-night streams, Akademiks didn't just critique. He clowned him night after night, dragging his image through the mud. The noise got so big. Complex even ranked him among the top 3 most influential streamers in the hip-hop game. So when Lil Baby name dropped him on It's Only Me, Akademiks know he ain't as rich as me, and Akademiks think they can't get touched. That wasn't just a bar. That was blood in the water. And Believe, a.k.a. smelled it coming from miles away. He went into attack mode. Relentless trolling, non-stop breakdowns of Baby's music. Shots at his personality, and live takedowns of his entire brand in front of thousands. And here's the twist he wasn't reaching. He was just saying what a lot of fans had already been thinking, but hadn't said out loud. Those quiet whispers online now had a face, and a loud, ruthless voice to match. And just like that, Lil Baby's untouchable image, gone. Almost instantly. But it didn't stop there. Just when it seemed like things couldn't spiral further.
Now, Lil Baby scratches one stylistic itch pretty well, but truly it is just that one itch. As across this LP, his flows are very one-dimensional, to the point where you might hit instances of deja vu from the first leg of the record to the last leg of the record.
Lil Baby found a form.
Another storm started forming, one that threatened way more than Lil Baby's reputation. This time, it shook the entire Atlanta rap scene to its core. The YSL RICO case was about to flip the city upside down, and Lil Baby's name slowly started surfacing in the background noise. When Young Thug got arrested in May 2022, the ripple effects were massive. Lyrics were suddenly treated like evidence. Entire crews were getting indicted. And Atlanta's rap community, they felt the heat immediately. The flex-heavy bars, the coded street language. Just a few years ago, Lil Baby looked untouchable. Every drop turned into a smash, every feature elevated a track, and every cosign from legends like Drake and Young Thug only solidified his place. For a moment, he wasn't just part hip-hop, he was hip-hop. Tracks like Drip Too Hard, Whoa, and especially The Bigger Picture didn't just chart, they became cultural touchstones. He managed to balance street cred with mainstream success better than nearly anyone from his generation. In 2020, fresh off My Turn, fans were calling him the future of the genre, the chosen one. But then, the foundation started to crack. By 2022, the energy around Lil Baby had shifted. It's Only Me opened big, over 200K units first week. But the music didn't land the way it used to. The tracks didn't stick, replay value was minimal, and fans gradually began to drift. The once electric momentum started to feel tired, predictable. Instead of leveling up with the times, Baby was stuck repeating himself, the same flows, the same production, the same blueprint. And people noticed. The critiques started as murmurs, Reddit posts, low-key Twitter threads, but it escalated quickly, especially once DJ academics jumped into the conversation. When Lil Baby name-dropped AK on It's Only Me, the gloves came off. AK fired back instantly, mocking the music, the persona, and the brand on stream after stream. And the worst part? He wasn't stretching the truth. He was voicing what a growing number of fans already felt, but hadn't said out loud. Suddenly, those quiet doubts had a loud, unfiltered amplifier. The myth of Lil Baby's invincibility started to break, and behind the scenes, even bigger issues were brewing. In May 2022, Young Thug was arrested in a major RICO case targeting YSL. The shockwaves were immediate. Lyrics were used in court. Crews were getting caught up. And just like that, the spotlight turned to Atlanta. Fans started asking, if Thug's cam could be hit, was 4PF next? When DA Fonnie Willis announced more RICO indictments were coming, the tension got real. In response, Lil Baby made a move, quietly shelving the 4PF name and launching a new label, Glass Window Entertainment, backed by Motown and Capitol. On the surface, it looked like a business decision, but for anyone really watching, it felt like a survival move. In interviews, Baby talked about taking control of his narrative, stepping away from street-centric rap, and aiming for something more intentional. He didn't say RICO, but the fear was obvious. This wasn't just a career pivot. It felt like a strategic retreat. When he began teasing Wham, his first release on the new label, fans hoped it would reflect that growth. On Instagram, he posted, "It's that time again, but this run will be totally different. I had the darkest period of my life these last 2 years, but I stayed down." That message sparked hope. Maybe this was his turning point. Maybe Baby was finally about to get personal. But when Wham finally dropped, it landed with a thud. Yes, the production was clean and the flows were tight, but it all felt too safe. Tracks like No Fly Zone and FR didn't break new ground. Fans were left wondering, what was the point of this project? It felt like algorithm rap, crafted to hit metrics, not hearts. TikTok edits began comparing his new verses to old ones from It's Only Me. One viral post put it bluntly. He said this would be different, but it's the same Baby flow, just slower. Even major outlets started cooling off. Complex called the album safe. Rolling Stone questioned whether he'd already maxed out creatively. And while the numbers weren't terrible, they weren't commanding either. In hip-hop, where momentum is everything, just okay isn't good enough. More damaging? The streets weren't feeling it. In Atlanta, the city he once had on lock, fans felt like the rebrand was more about ducking heat than evolving artistically. Some said he abandoned the rawness that made him stand out. And when authenticity gets questioned in hip-hop, the fallout is brutal. Meanwhile, his peers were thriving. Ghana, despite all the snitching accusations, dropped a project that sparked conversation and pushed the envelope. Future kept dropping heat. And rising stars like Ice Spice, Yeet, and Central C were owning TikTok, climbing charts, and connecting with Gen Z in real time. While they leveled up, Baby started to fade into the background. Even his most loyal fans began to notice the shift. His bars felt lazy. The hunger wasn't there. That spark, the thing that made him, was flickering out. Then the personal drama hit. Rumors of inner circle tension made headlines. Not everyone from 4PF came over the glass window. Some said Baby was cutting ties with anyone who might bring unwanted attention. Smart legally? Sure. But in the court of public opinion, it made him look disloyal. His image began to unravel. The lavish lifestyle that once symbolized success, jets, chains, designer everything, now came off like he was overcompensating. One fan put it best: when the music slows down, the flex don't hit the same. More bad signs followed. Whispers about relationship drama, missed shows, low-energy performances. Clips of half-empty arenas went viral. Promoters were reportedly slashing their booking fees. And academics? He stayed locked in, roasting Baby sales, clowning his label name, critiquing every move. Stream after stream, clip after clip, the internet joined in. Some laughed, some agreed, others just stopped checking in. In a bid to regain relevance, Baby linked with top streamers like Kai Cenat, clearly aiming to reconnect with the Gen Z audience. But it backfired. When Kai rated Wham a 6.5 out of 10 on stream, a rare low from someone usually generous, it stung. Baby brushed it off, saying, "They're young, they don't really get what I'm doing." But that only made things worse. Fans weren't looking for excuses. They wanted evolution, vulnerability, truth. Instead, Baby kept rapping about the same things: the cars, the women, the ice, the lifestyle. Then came the shot at Ghana. "I don't care what he did, he a rat still." Fans weren't impressed. It felt petty, unnecessary, especially since Baby had previously credited Ghana with helping him rap. They had hits, history, chemistry. Now he was throwing him under the bus. It didn't sit right. In a genre where loyalty still holds weight, it came off as desperate. And it wasn't just about Ghana. Baby seemed to be distancing himself from anyone tied to Thug. It felt like a pattern, and fans were taking note. Meanwhile, Ghana, for all the backlash, had already rebounded. His music was still charting. His name was still buzzing. And Baby, he couldn't buy a moment. The real problem? He wasn't speaking on what mattered. He said he went through the darkest years of his life, but his music barely scratched the surface. Instead of letting fans in, he gave them the same surface-level bars. No depth, no real story, no heart. Now, the narrative's slipping away. The blogs, the media, even longtime fans are questioning if he still got it. Dominique. The follow-up to Wham, promised to be raw and revealing, never came. It was supposed to drop in February. By summer, nothing. Just more of the same. And that hurt worse than a bad album. Because the potential was there, the story was there, but the execution wasn't. By the end of 2024, the writing was on the wall. Lil Baby was standing at a crossroads. On one side, fame, fortune, and a legacy most rappers dream of. On the other, a vanishing spotlight. The numbers were dipping. The culture had shifted. And the fans, the ones who once saw him as untouchable, were starting to walk away. His fall wasn't about a single misstep. It was about the lack of evolution, the lack of direction, the lack of honesty. Because in this game, pain has to be real. Growth has to be shown. And if the culture decides your time is up, there's no running from it. Lil Baby may not be finished. He may still have one more run left in him. But to reclaim his throne, it'll take more than a name change or a flashy rollout. It'll take transformation. Because the rap game moves fast, and it doesn't wait for anyone, not even its chosen ones, not even Lil Baby.